Hello everyone, my name is Mudul Kumar Mishra and I'm a fourth year student of Aerospace Engineering from UPES, Dehradun, India. Today I'm going to present you a presentation on my topic electromagnetics in space and electromagnetics and antenna for space. So let's look to the overview of this topic. We'll start with the introduction of the antennas. What are the antennas? What are the basic types? Then we'll move on to the basic structure of antennas, how they are made, what all elements are there. Then we'll come to the antennas for space. Antennas have a vast use of space, a vast use in space in satellite communication and interplanetary missions. We'll see the radiation mechanism and the most important thing, the effects of space environment that antennas have to bear. Then we'll move on to the recent modifications that basically the upgradation of the antennas, and we'll end by the applications of antenna. So what image comes in our mind when we hear about the word antenna? All of us must have come across the word antenna, like the TV antennas, the telephone antennas. We see antennas outside our homes, and we see the big antennas that are used for the interplanetary missions. So these are the basic pictures of the antennas that we see in our daily life. The towers antenna, the dish TV antennas, the simple communication antennas. So basically, what is an antenna? An antenna is an electrical device which converts radio frequency, electric currents into electromagnetic waves. The first antenna was built by a German physicist, Heinrich Hertz, in 1888 in his pioneering experiments to prove the existence of electromagnetic waves predicted by the theory of Maxwell. What he did a simple experiment. He just placed dipole antennas at focal point of a parabolic reflector working both as a transmitter and a receiver. We know that for a two-way communication, we need a speaker and a listener. Same happens in the antenna. We need a transmitter that transmits the wave and the receiver that receives the waves and modulates it. Antenna radiates the energy from the current as electromagnetic wave or radio wave. Now we come to the basic types of antenna. So the first is a transmitting antenna. As the name suggests, the antenna that are designed to efficiently radiate the electromagnetic radiations is preferred direction is called the transmitting antenna. And second is the receiving antenna. As the name suggests again, the antenna designed to efficiently receive the electromagnetic radiations that are transmitted by the transmitting antenna. Over here in the corner, we can see the pictures of transmitting antenna and receiving antenna at a distance somewhat are kilometers or miles. They both look similar. So an antenna can work both as a transmitter and a receiver at the same time. In reception, antenna intercepts some of the power of electromagnetic waves in order to produce a small voltage. Now let's come to the basic structure of antenna. So it is a metallic conductor system capable of radiating and receiving electromagnetic waves. Typically, an antenna consists of an arrangement of metallic conductors, as you can see in the picture below, which are connected electrically to the receiver or transmitter. An oscillating current of electrons forced through the antenna by the transmitter will create an oscillating magnetic field around the antenna element. As you can see, the two antennas down here. One is the simple antenna that we see in daily life, and second is the high frequency antenna. Now, the antennas for space. Antennas have a vast use in space. Every year we send many of the satellites, and we need to communicate from Earth to satellite. So that's communication we make through antennas. We know that the space race of humankind started with the first artificial satellite called the Sputnik 1, which was developed and placed in the orbit by the USSR in 1987. USA too placed its first satellite called Explorer 1 in the following year. The Explorer 1 had the most important achievement that it discovered the generations of Van Allen belt around the world. The antennas were used for the first time in these missions to make communication with satellite and to get the information that was collected by the satellite to the centers in the Earth. It was challenging at that time because for the first time the antennas were tested for the communication between Earth and space, and they had and we did not know how much hindrances they face at the space conditions. The success of these missions brought more advancement in the antenna communication. Over here we can see the Sputnik 1 and the Explorer 1 satellites. We see in Sputnik 1 there are 4 antennas which are fixed in one direction and not flexible. And on the other hand, we can see the flexible antennas in the Explorer 1. They are used for the very high frequency communication. Now we come to the radiation mechanism. The sole functionality of an antenna is the power radiation or reception. The antenna can be connected to a circuitry at the station through a transmission line. A transmission line is used to connect the station. The functioning of an antenna depends upon the radiation mechanism of the transmission line. A conductor which is designed to carry current over a large distance with minimum losses is termed as a transmission line. For example, a wire is connected to an antenna. A transmission line conducting current with uniform velocity and the line being straight in one infinite extent radiates no power. We can see the transmission line and the radiated power mentioned in the picture below. Antennas have two integral capacities. The first is changing over magnetic wave into voltage and current utilized by a circuit, and changing over voltage and current into electromagnetic wave which are communicated in space. An oscillating magnetic field around the antenna is created by the electrons, whereas an oscillating electric field is also created by the electrons. These time-varying fields radiate away the antenna into space, radiate from the antenna into space as moving electromagnetic field. During reception, the oscillating electric and magnetic field of an incoming radio wave exert force on the electrons in an element, thus moving it forth and back and creating an oscillating current in antenna. Now, we come to the space effects environment. No one knows what can happen in space at any point of time. There are harsh conditions in space that can damage the antenna. So in space, not only functionality, but the durability and reliability is also taken into consideration. The materials used to make antenna should meet the requirements of space factors affecting it. Because there are meteors, there are comets that can hit antenna or they can damage, or there are several other features like difference in pressure and things like that. During the launch phase, the vibration, stress, shocks, and sudden pressure fall may cause the damage to the antenna too. When a satellite is launched, it travels with a speed of 11.8 km per second, and that's a high amount of speed, very much speed, and the vibrations due to that can cause the damage to the antenna that is fixed in the satellite that the spacecraft is carrying. After the LEO, the lower Earth orbit, antennas are exposed to the harsh conditions that can damage it as well as cause disturbance in the communication, or they can lead to no communication. For this, there are some verification measures. Every designed antenna needs to qualify these things, and then only it can be attached to the satellite that is going to the space. In order to verify that antennas can perform functionally in space environment and withstand effects, some tests should be performed and addition to functional tests before mission starts. So the tests are the thermal qualification. It should qualify all levels of thermal test with large difference in heat and temperatures, the sine vibration test, the random vibrations, the quasi-static acceleration, and the stiffness. To verify the module, requirements and tests have been defined by NASA. All these tests that are mentioned above are defined by NASA. Now we come to the recent modification. As we know, in recent years, antennas have a vast use in satellite communication. The uplink and downlink antennas, like uplink antenna, which the uplink and downlink antennas used are more powerful than before. They have a high technology. They use a high technology. The antennas use are light in weight, have low volume, low cost, high gain, and direct. The antennas enable the connection of both the sides over space. They can easily be mounted on a non-planar surface. And the main thing is the losses of communication are minimized. The main losses were the attenuation loss, the free space loss, the noise, and the refractive loss. These main losses are reduced and minimized. So over here we can see all advanced antennas. One is planted on the earth, and other we can see the satellite, which have multiple axis antennas, single axis antennas that are used for different types of communication in space. Now we come to the application. So the first application is deep space communication. For, for exploring other planets, moons, comets, etc., very high intensity antennas are used with minimum loss and maximum efficiency. Challenging design and manufacturing technologies are employed for these antennas. Moreover, they have to comply with harsh specific qualification standards to operate in tough conditions. We can see here the high gain antenna on Mars rover courtesy of Mars Science Laboratory that was sent, that is situated on the Mars rover, and that is sending us information to about the Mars. And then it's the missile launching. In order to acquire communication, guidance, transmitting and receiving radar signals, sending video and image, communicating with satellite after departing, there are many antennas used in missile launch. The figure itself depicts a missile launched from a center to hit a target. The missile has antenna, and the place from where it is launched, uh, it has an eye on the target, and it keeps on sending the signals, and the missile and the signal intercept, and missile hits the target. With this we come to an end of our presentation. Thanks a lot.